Than the positive play that they've had all year against this Leaf team.
Here's McCabe scores! A face-off win by Max Domi. McCabe with the first Leaf goal by a blue line.
It's the start the Leafs needed last night, but the finish perhaps more important. But they've kept their season alive with a win over the Bruins.
And Jake McCabe opening the scoring 5.5 minutes into the game with his first goal of the playoffs. The Leafs carried most of the early play, outshooting the Bruins 11-2 in the first period.
His biggest goal.
The puck in front scores. Trent Frederick has tied it.
With back and forth first period, Boston ties things up with just over 6 minutes left. The teams then went back and forth in the second and third, but this one went to OT, tied at 1.
Tavares digging in on his off wing to the net. Shoveled it in front. Scores! Matthew Nyes has won it, and the Leafs will take it back to Game 6.
And a very nice goal from Matthew Nyes. He was the overtime hero, scoring the game winner just over 2 minutes in. Joseph Wall also got the start for the first time in the series, and he made 27 saves. So the Leafs win Game 5, 2-1, and now trail the first-round series 3-2.
It's the aggression, the assertiveness that we played with from the start. You know, we didn't feel sorry for ourselves. We didn't mail it in. You know, we went out to take charge of the hockey game in the first period, and I thought we did a terrific job of that. Tremendous effort from everybody in that first period. Difficult to come out of that with only, you know, at 1-1, you know, but that was, as I said to the guys, you know, between periods is play a tremendous period, yet we're still 1-1. That's how hard this is. That's how tight this is, and you got to just stay with it. It's going to require 60 minutes, and tonight even more than that.
All right, so that's definitely the kind of effort Leafs Nation was looking for. TSN Radio's Matt Cause joins us live this morning to talk more about this. A pretty solid game, start to finish, for the Leafs, which we did not see in Game 4, indeed.
No, we didn't. I mean, such a contrast where Game 4 was so deflating. And the team, there didn't seem to be any energy. And as you mentioned off the top, they outshot Boston early in the first. They were the dominant team. And then by the third, it kind of tilted a little bit more to Boston. But then the big hero was Joseph Wall. Just incredible saves in the third. And in overtime, before the Matthew Nyes winner, Joseph Wall really provided the big spark that the team needed. And we've seen this in the playoffs where a guy comes out of nowhere. When Vegas won the Cup, it was Aiden Hill, who was like their third-string goalie. So a very different performance. And one, I'm thrilled for the players, but I'm also thrilled for the city.
Yes.
You know, with
exactly.
The Raptors having a bad year. The Blue Jays, much like the Maple Leafs, can't score. So it's good for the city to get that little dose of sports happy.
For sure. And when you were watching the game yesterday, I mean, a lot of people were obviously just so anxious to see which way it would go.
Yeah.
But when you have a goal coming in 5.5 minutes in the beginning, is that when you knew this was a different team on the ice? Were you hopeful that they were going to win this one, or was it really till overtime that you were like, this could go either way?
Well, it's an elimination game, so it's pure terror from start to finish.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they scored first, very different than what we saw in Game 4 as well. And it was Jake McCabe, but I love the fact it was Max Domi, Ty Domi's son, winning the faceoff that set that one up. I think one of the biggest indicators of this game was different was there was only one penalty kill that the Maple Leafs were on, and they did a great job. Boston didn't get one shot on their power play, so that made you feel a little bit more calm as well. And then when overtime starts, you just basically hide and hope for the best.
Just like hang on to the couch.
Yeah.
Just like, oh my gosh.
And who got it started? It was John Tavares. So we
Yes.
always wonder about his speed. He was able to get past the defenseman and create the shot in front of the net that allowed for Matthew Nyes to pounce on it. So you had old man Tavares and the rookie Matthew Nyes getting it done in
That
overtime.
one hand on the stick, shovel pass across the front of that was a beauty pass indeed. Okay, but what we of course need to talk about is the fact that Austin Matthews wasn't in the lineup. Wall traded in for Samsonov here, but let's talk about Matthews here.
Yeah.
What are you hearing? What do you understand is this undisclosed illness? Because it's so hard to
It is a complete cloak of mystery, which we've seen from the Toronto Maple Leafs since before the playoffs began, when we wondered, why is William Nylander not in there? And they did that. It's the same thing here. It obviously has to be a bad enough illness where you saw his performance from Game 2, where he was brilliant. He was elite. Maybe one of his best games as a Maple Leaf. Game 3 and then Game 4 kind of disappeared, was invisible. Yeah. So obviously it was bad enough. We saw him on the ice yesterday doing the most rudimentary training, just the rudimentary drills. And now it's basically everyone's going to be waiting and wondering. And we probably won't know until 6 p.m. tomorrow night.
And Matt, what's your assessment or analysis of, the fact that Austin Matthews didn't play? Do you think that the rest of the team somehow gelled together more? Yeah. And do you think that this is, a pattern that we should see if they want to move on?
Well, we've seen this before with the Maple Leafs with both Morgan Riley, with the team that's got a winning record with him. Same thing with Austin Matthews. The team does have a winning record. It's something where every player on the team realizes, okay, I've got to work a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I've got to be a little bit more responsible because I don't have Austin Matthews to save us. That is the ultimate safety net that the Maple Leafs have, and they don't have it. And remember Morgan Riley when he got suspended for 5 games, and Toronto went on maybe their best winning streak. So, yeah, you obviously see this psychologically. Everyone else has to do just a little bit more. And we saw that last night.
Yeah, we saw it indeed, and it's exciting. It creates this enthusiasm, but the odds, I mean, let's be realistic, are not on their side to beat Boston 3 times in a row, which is what I mean. Now they only need to do it twice in a row, but like let's get real here, Matt, in terms of like the reality. Boston is such a good team.
Yeah, they are. The odds coming into the game was 10%. We've only seen teams come back from down 3-1, winning 10% of the time. Well, they've now got 1. They have 2 more to go. But yes, the odds are against them because Boston is a really good team.
Yeah.
Boston won the President's Trophy last year. Boston had a better record than the Maple Leafs did this year. So, I mean, they do have a good chance, only in the sense that also hockey is the most unpredictable, more so than any other sports in North America.
True, that's so true. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll be holding with bated breath until Thursday and see what happens.
Isn't it nice to do a happy hit? Like versus today, where it could have been who's getting fired, who's getting traded, and yet today live to see another day. It's fantastic.
Matt,
exactly.
Great to see you as always. Appreciate the talk.
Thanks so much, Matt.
Great to see you.
Awesome.
All
Thank
right,
you so much.